Alrighty, hey everyone, welcome again to our weekly A-Team Amazon Zoom. And tonight is going to be very special because we have my good friend here, Mitch from Jersey, right, bro? Jersey?
Yep,
Yeah.
Jersey.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know Mitch, Mitch is one of our top people in our A-Team community, together with his wife Rosanna and his brother-in-law Ronald. So they run an Amazon business together. They recently started like a few months ago, and now they're at $30,000 with their business. So also Mitch is a father, husband, business owner. And yeah, I'm super excited to have Mitch here tonight because Mitch, I've been following his stories on Instagram, and his journey as a as a business owner. He's been in business for many years in the past. He's done like things like Forex, right? Network marketing and other things. So I'm just happy to see him here with our group having success. And with that being said, bro, I'm gonna hand you the mic, and we're gonna do a Q&A, okay?
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that little introduction, Lewis. Honestly, it's been an honor to be on this call. Especially coming off of last week with the powerhouse of Brandy, definitely an individual that I look up to, with Amazon, seeing her success just through your mentorship has been eye-opening for me, and something that I strive to do. So yeah,
Love it, man.
ask away.
Hey, brother. So I guess my first question is for the audience, right? I guess like, can you share a little bit about yourself? How
Yeah,
yeah. So as far as like personal and business.
yeah. So I'm 28 years old, not that old, right? And honestly, I got involved into network marketing very young, at the age of 23, and I that's where I started kind of like my entrepreneurial mindset. And I was doing Forex, teaching people how, well, not teaching people, but marketing to people how to learn how to invest within the foreign exchange market and cryptocurrencies and things like that. And then from there, I did that for about 4 years, and then from there, I kind of took a pause of it. The company wasn't moving the way I wanted it to do, so then I just kind of took a pause, started focusing more on my family,
Bop,
and
bop,
then
bop.
Go ahead.
was
Sorry.
I get it. I'm a dad too. Um, so yeah, so I took a pause from that, and then I started focusing on my family, focusing on working with other individuals in different avenues and stuff like that. Did some managing for a sports betting company for about a year, almost 2 years, until the company and decided to stop working there. So so yeah, I dabbled in multiple areas, and then come October of 2023, um, Rosanna, my fiance, and my brother-in-law, they actually ended up bringing this opportunity to me. They say, "Hey, Mitch, we're looking to expand with Lewis, understanding how the Amazon business works, and we know that you're well versed when it comes to understanding technological things and getting things up and running." So I was like, "Yeah, whatever you guys need me to do, I'm down for it." And once I landed on these on your call, I realized that this is something that I can definitely do, and I can see myself potentially taking this, full time, hopefully in the future, based off of your experience and based off of what I see other people do as well. Um, and yeah, that's just my kind of story as to how I landed here.
Love it, man. Yeah, man, you guys are crushing it, bro. Um, I actually want to ask, like, how do you guys do it? Because you guys do it together, right? So you, Rosanna, Ronald, you guys also have a VA, right? So,
Yeah, yeah.
like,
So
what's
we
the structure of your business?
I feel like with the more people that are involved, it's better, right? I know that some people tend to, manage things alone, but me personally, especially since I was, had the background of network marketing and managing multiple teams, I think a team effort of type of thing is the best way to go, especially with this type of business, right? Because there's a lot of things that happen in the background that um as you're sourcing and as you're getting products and as you start scaling, a lot of things start going left, And there's certain things that may trickle down, or like some certain things that, you just going by the day by day that you may not see. And then you may like be like, oh shoot, I should have responded to that much sooner. So the way that we structure our business right now is I do the sourcing, right? I do kind of like the grunt work. Um, we get the products from the VA, right? The VA would send us a list about 10 products a day, and then we're also subscribed to your A team list, which I love, right? So I have 15 products that I go through throughout the day, and then from there I do the purchasing after I source through those products. Now, Rosanna's like, Mitchell does all the work. So, and then Rosanna is kind of like the support person, right? That's what I kind of call her. She's the one that focuses on the emails and making sure that, any account health issues that we look into. And then she focuses on any prep any emails from the prep center, right? So Rosanna's mostly handling the email stuff, and then Ronald is the money man. That's what I call him, right? He's the guys with the funds, and he's the one that came brought this opportunity for us, and kind of just said, hey, I have the money here, you guys run it. So that's kind of how like we operate, right?
Love it.
I do most of the work, and
Yeah, love
then
it.
they help me.
Yeah, like how important is funding, would you say, as far as his journey with Amazon?
Honestly, it's very important um to me, right? And the reason why I say that it's important is because without funding you can't really scale. And without scaling you can't really see the fruits of what Amazon has for you. Um right, it's easier when you have 10K to spend instead of 1,000, right? You can be less selective. You can just say, all right, cool, let me test out this product. And then if that product is a home run, let me just scale up on that product, So I think funding is important when it comes to this business. And it's something that if you don't have right now, I would say, figure out how to do that, with credit and maybe, having people that are willing to fund your business. As long as you have your numbers, right? Like if you there's people that are out there that are willing to fund these type of things. So yeah, look
Love it.
into that.
Yeah. And then how was your journey from, from complete beginner, like all the way to today, like day one all the way till today? Like
It,
how
it,
was the
it
journey?
at first it was a huge learning curve, right? I'm a hands-on learner, and especially, don't get me wrong, these calls are great, and I always jump on here because I'm always a student of the game. I'm not an individual that's gonna say, you know, hey, uh, I know everything. So coming on these calls, at first, I was like, oh, this is very easy. All I gotta do is just click on this and see if it makes sense and then buy it. Cool. No brainer, right? But then I realized like there's little things that happen within that process. Like, there's like generic ASINs that you got to look into. There is you got to make sure that the brand that you're buying is the same one as the one that Amazon has. Um you have to also look into, the sales per month. Look at the Keepa chart, right? There was just many things that I was not looking at in the beginning, that when I look at products now, I'm like, I at first I would be like, oh, this looks great and buy it, but now I would like triple check to make sure that I get it right. So so yeah, it was a huge, it was a big, it was a, I would say a quick learning curve, because once I realized that, oh shoot, that this is not a good product. Maybe what could have I done in the beginning? And I was like, maybe I should have slowed down a little bit, really analyze the products, and then pull the trigger. But at first, I was just very excited, and I was like, yo, let me just learn, you know. So which I
Yeah.
which I think in any business, I think that's what people go through. They get real excited, and then they make mistakes. And what I would recommend for those who are just starting is that you are going to make mistakes. Just don't let those mistakes stop you, right? Because it's just gonna that's the only way us as humans is that we learn, right? Prime example, I'm a dad of three, and my kids, right? There's you can tell them 1,000 times, hey, that stove is hot, until they touch it.
That's so
That's when
true.
they're gonna know, like, okay, it's hot, right? So I think that's a good example. When it comes to this business, right? You just gotta kind of go through certain things, and once you go through those things, just know like it's okay, as long as like you're not getting deactivated or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, you guys are doing great, man. You guys are action takers, I would say. So I think that's I think that the quickest way to learn is to really just take action, right?
Yeah.
It's never gonna be perfect, you know. But as long as you're keeping it in motion and just learning, I don't think you guys ever miss any trainings too, man. So
Yeah, I think we probably missed one, right? We missed
yeah,
probably one call, and it was because we had like a church event or something like that.
yeah,
Um,
you guys are always here, so
yeah,
the
we're
reason
we're,
why you
we're
guys ever
always
missed those.
plugged in, and
Mhm.
and I would really say, these calls are impactful. Um, there's always something that I learn, especially like last week's call, like the way even now, like my seller amp is like the way I mirrored it the same way that Brandy has it, because it's just so much easier to navigate through through sourcing and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
something as simple as that. If I missed last week's call, I wouldn't have got that sauce. You know what I mean?
yeah, I love it. And then you're a parent too, right? So like how do you balance, business and
It's
family, kids? You know what I mean?
it can be challenging at times. And the reason why I say that is because I do this part time, right? It's not like I'm doing it full time. I have a job. I have a 9 to 5, right? And doing that, spending time with the kids, going to the basketball games, going to the kids events, and then also doing this is just trying to really figuring out how to be consistent. And I think for me, what's worked for me is just doing it in the morning, right? When the kids are at school, when work is not so busy, and when I can, really just dedicate an hour or two to just sourcing, making sure that I get the products and that I buy the products. I there's probably been like once or twice where I didn't purchase a product in a day, um, because I noticed that once I stopped purchasing, or like once I let the leads pile up, right, it just got too crazy.
Yeah,
So, because I think about it, it's easier to sort 15 products a day than to sort
60, right?
65 products. You know what I mean? So it was, again, learning curves, right? I was just like, yo, let me give Amazon a break and let me focus on the family for a little bit. And then when that happened, it was kind of like a snowball effect. And now I'm sourcing 65 products by myself, and I'm just like, dude, I can't do this. I remember one night I was up to like 3 in the morning looking at products, and I was like, ugh. It
Yeah,
was
staying in
crazy.
routine, right? Helps a lot.
Yeah, so so to answer your question, is just you gotta create consistency, right? You gotta create consistency, and just know that, like, you have to, when it's family time, and when it's business time, it's business time. Like, you gotta just, separate the two. I was trying to mesh the two, and it wasn't working. Like, things with with Rosanna and with the kids, they were just like, it wasn't working. They were just like, I noticed that it was they were feeling like I was disconnecting. So really just making the time for your family and for the business, and understanding that you have to be consistent with that time, can go a real long way.
Yeah, I love it. And then what's your guys' plan with his business? Like how big do you guys want to scale this? Like what's the plan?
So I kind of touched on it earlier, right? I really want to make this thing full time. And it's because I can see the benefit of it, right? If you can, it's like it's like what you said earlier, right? If you can make $1, you can make 1,000. If you can make 1,000, you can make 10,000. It's all about how much you can scale, right? And if I can do that with this, and the beautiful thing about Amazon is that you can do this thing anywhere in the world, right? Me and Rosanna, we love to travel. So if we can travel and make money while doing it, why not, So, and I think Amazon is gonna allow us to do that without us devoting that much time to it. And I think that's the beauty about it, right? You can, I noticed that you were just in, what was it, Japan, right? Like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Like that, how like my daughter, she wants to go to Japan now, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy. So I think that's just a beautiful thing.
Love it, man. Let me see.
If doing sorry, there's a question here. If doing
Oh,
retail arbitrage on a small budget 200, would you purchase several items or 10 of the same that will sell well? So guys, just so you're aware, I don't do retail arbitrage. I am strictly online arbitrage. I just don't have the time to be going to the stores and scanning products and doing all that. It is something that I've considered, and because I've seen the success that comes with that, and doing just going to the stores and finding those gems. It's very time consuming for us, and it's something that we haven't considered doing yet. So I don't have that answer for you, Mary, right now. But yeah, I really don't know how to answer that question.
no, but how about as far as like online arbitrage? Like if she has a budget of like 200, like how should she spend it? Just in
So
general.
I would say,
Yeah.
I would say just do several different items, right? Just try to stretch your money as much as you can, because it gives you the ability to see what works and what doesn't, right? Because let's say you have 10 different items, and each item is worth, let's say $10, right? So I would say just stretch that out so that way you could purchase each one, where you can see what works and what doesn't. And then next month, when you're looking at at your numbers, which product sold the quickest, then you could be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna rack up more on this one, or I'm gonna put my money towards this one instead of focusing on the other ones that didn't sell. Really, it's just a numbers game, and you're gonna hear Lewis say that a lot on this trainings. I think in multiple trainings that I've been on, I've heard that thing probably like 7 or 12 or multiple times on a call. Like, yo, it's a numbers game, and it's true. It's really true. I'm living testimony of that. Like, there's products that we bought and they didn't sell, and we just had to like cut our costs on it. And then there's products that sold like this. But if we just focused on, that one product instead of focusing on all the products, we wouldn't had that opportunity, right? So to answer your question, if it was online arbitrage and you have a very small budget, I would say just try and you know, do as many test buys as you can, and just go with that and see what works, and then just scale up on that one.
Love it. You guys have questions for Mitch? You guys can unmute or you can also type in the chat.
That's a great question. Right now we're currently at um last time I looked at the numbers, it was at 40% ROI from what we think. But it varies, right? So yeah. It all depends on what products you find, and how scalable is that product. Two things a beginner should not do. First thing a beginner should not do
Great
is,
question, by the way.
yeah, this is a great one, because this is something that I did and I regret it to this day, is buying the product before checking if Amazon um has a generic ASIN. What I mean by that is that you run the numbers, right? You go on Seller's Amp, you see that, oh, this product has, let's say for example, 30% ROI. It's selling 100 sales per month, and there's two sellers, and you're like, oh shoot, this is a great product. Let me go to the supplier and buy it. Before you hit that checkout button, go to your Amazon seller account, add the product, and see if you can actually sell that product. There's been multiple times where I've purchased the product, and I went to add it into my Amazon sellers account, and I get this pop-up saying it's a generic ASIN. Once you get that generic ASIN, there's like a whole process that Lewis has. Like, he broke it down for me step by step, and that you have to reach out to Amazon, see if you can actually sell the product, and then Amazon is gonna either tell you yes or no. So now you're kind of like gambling. So yeah, I would say that would be the first thing not to do. And then the second thing not to do is which kind of like is the same thing, is purchase uh let me see. That one was really big for me, like that generic ASIN. But the second one I would say would be maybe I've been lucky with this and never experienced, but what is a generic ASIN? So a generic ASIN, that's a great question. A generic ASIN, just to elaborate a little bit on that, guys, is an ASIN that's been created not by by the actual supplier. So for example, you this Apple mouse watch, right? Let's say you're trying to list this product and it's listed by Mitchell, right? Once you're seeing that some people have that in their inventory, they're like, okay, cool, maybe I can sell this. But in reality, when you go into the Amazon Seller Central, they're gonna say, oh, that's actually a generic ASIN. And then when you actually look at the actual Amazon Apple, the Apple mouse, the numbers are probably gonna be way off. And you're gonna be like, oh shoot, now I'm stuck with these products. Or maybe I have to reach out to the supplier and say if they can cancel it. So that's ultimately what a generic ASIN is. It's like it's just a product being sold not by the actual brand. And another thing not to do is to I would say is to source while you're tired, right? I think that's one thing that I experienced, right? I was sourcing, like I said, I was sourcing to like 3 a.m. and then I was putting like I was purchasing stuff and I forgot to put it on like the prep center sheet and then all this other stuff. So it was just creating double work for me. So yeah, like I said in the earlier, just make the time, stick to that time and yeah.
That's
So
actually really
Sam
good, bro.
says,
That's really good.
yeah.
Yeah, because it can be sloppy, right? When you're like buying
Yeah.
products and you're like organizing your stuff, it can be like sloppy.
Yeah.
You do like
And
extremely organized, right? When you do it.
one of the things that helped me get organized, right? Um, was one, my brother-in-law Ronald. This dude is like a Excel guru. Like he knows his stuff with Excel. And then Art Smith, who is one of the guys within the A team, he sent out this spreadsheet on how he like sources his stuff and how he has all his stuff documented, and I've been using that, and that thing has been very helpful for us to not only keep track of what we have but also to like see like if we need to restock, what are the numbers, and what are the numbers at the time and how things change and stuff like that. So that's been helpful as well. um I see that Sam has a question here. He said, any trouble with Amazon losing your products? So we actually had one product. We actually had one product that ended up getting lost. It was a Milwaukee like drill bits that we ended up finding. And we're still in communication with Amazon and actually the prep center to see what ended up happening with that product. Ultimately, what we've been doing, what we found is that you just have to reach out to Amazon and kind of be on top of them to see like what happened with your product. That at least that's what we've been doing. I don't know, Lewis, if there's another way to find these lost products.
You can outsource it too. I mean, either do it manually, right?
Yeah.
Or also just outsource it if you want. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Mhm.
No, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let me
I
put
guess
the link here too of the company that I use.
okay. Yeah, I didn't know about that. Well, I mean, you probably said it on one of the calls, and I probably just missed it. But yeah, I guess you got outsourced it too.
Yeah.
I'll look into that myself because like I said, we got one product that's been it's been in limbo for us.
Yeah.
But
So River Event Consulting, it's a company that you can use to outsource, to like check your inventory for like
perfect.
lost, like lost packages or yeah.
Yeah.
And that way you can get reimbursed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So either manual or outsource. Yeah.
Any other questions, guys? No. I feel like Lewis now.
I know how I feel, bro.
I'm just staring at my screen, waiting for a question.
It's the most awkward thing ever, right?
Right, you just sitting here. All right,
Questions,
cool.
guys?
Nah,
Come on, don't be shy.
I guess they want to go into product overview.
Yeah, that's fine. Here, let me give you the screen. No questions? I guess no questions, bro.
Nah, it's cool with me.
I guess yeah. So Sam said I'm going to look into that. Okay.
Yeah, Sam, me too. Because like I said, I got this product that's sitting in
Yeah.
limbo. Um,
I think as a beginner, it's gonna be easy to track, everything. But as you get bigger, it's easier. It's better to outsource.
yeah,
Yeah. So, so Shan said maybe questions will come up with product research. So
yeah.
yeah. All right, bro. If you can share your screen.
And you shared it. You shared it to me. I'm sorry, how? You sent it like to my email or something?
Instagram.
Instagram. All right, cool. Give
Yeah.
me a second. Let me pull it up. Sorry.
No, you're good. There's no other questions, you guys? While waiting?
And I can share my screen now.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let me know when you guys can see it.
Yeah, we see it.
All right, perfect. Rosanna's in the other room. Like, I can see it. All right, cool. So for those who haven't done product research, or this is like the first time you ever been on this call, there's a couple of ways. I'm actually gonna sound like Lewis now because I've been on these calls multiple times. But there's a couple of ways that you guys can actually get products. The first way is like an A team, right? That I was talking about before. And ultimately what it is it's a ungated and gated product list, about 5 products a day shared with 10 people. And that's been very helpful for us, especially in the beginning, because what it allowed us to do, it allowed us to actually expose ourselves as to like on these products that and get kind of our feet wet when it came to Amazon, and doing our research and making sure that we understand how this product works. After you kind of get comfortable with that, I think the best thing to do, team, is to go transition over to a VA. And the reason why I say that is because the VA is going to actually do the grunt work for you and do the actual online arbitrage and get exclusive products just for you. Um, when I and the beautiful thing about a VA is that you have communication with them. It's not like with the A team list that you're just getting 5 random products and you're just like hoping, oh my God, I get a gem. With this one, you actually have the ability to tell them, hey, go to let's just source Nike products today. Or let's just source Adidas products today. Let's just source Under Armour products. Something that is going to, like, for us, Stanley Cups, right? We were on a call and actually ended up buying one. But we are actually on a call, and one of the individuals that Lewis brought on, they were like, yo, I racked up on Stanley Cups. So Rosanna, myself, and Ronald, we were like, yo, let's ask the VA to start sourcing Stanley. So the VA actually started sending us Stanley products. Again, you can't do that with the A team list, but with the VA you can, because you have that straight communication. Next, you get your own list where you actually go and do the research yourself and determine whether this is a good or a bad product. And lastly, retail arbitrage, where you go to stores, do your own sourcing, scan them, and see if it makes sense for you to purchase that product in bulk, and etc. Any questions on those 4 things, guys?
I think Dean has a question in chat.
Dion said, when you first started, how long did it take for you before you had a nice flow of product arriving, being sold, and then getting paid a couple months? So that actually took, so we started back in October. And the first couple weeks, I'm gonna be honest with you, they were rough. And the reason why I say that is because the prep center took like couple week, like probably like a week or so for us to get set up with the prep center. And then once we got set up with the prep center, it was like more of like understanding, like, okay, what do I need to do? And that's when we started going into calls and stuff. And then from there, we actually started getting on the calls and seeing how Lewis was doing what he was doing. And then from there, we actually got the list, got on the A team list, and we were like, all right, cool. this works. So then we will purchase the products, and then the products would probably take, depending on the supplier, it would take anywhere from like 3 days to probably like 2 weeks the most to get to the prep center. The prep center would then um wait till you have like a decent amount to then prep your products and then send it to Amazon. So this is why I say it's important to source every day and purchase at least 1 or 2 items a day. So that way, once they get to the prep center, they send out a big amount to your store to Amazon to then so your store could just like start selling and stuff. So it took me, I want to say, probably like a month to get into that flow. And then once December, that was October, November, I started getting into the flow. Then the holidays came, and I was like, I'm gonna take a break. And that was like the biggest mistake I ever made, because then that whole list started piling up, and then that's when I started going back into the things, and then I realized like I can't really take a break, and like I can't not source a day. So, and again, it's just an hour. So I was trying to be greedy with my time and stuff. So, and I think Lewis answered the next question, right? So yeah, which was how to get on the A team list. I don't know if people are looking at the chat. Just reach out to Lewis and he could get you plugged into that. It's very good for beginners that are starting with their Amazon business. Um, it was very helpful for us, and like I said, we're still on it till this day, because the more products you have, the better you have to scaling up your store. All right, cool. So ready to source, guys? Ready to do some research? So first thing you do, team, is you're gonna receive a list like this if you have either a VA. About to go into that real quick, Vladimir, in a second. But once you get into A team list or you have your own VA, you're gonna get a list something similar to like this. And the list is gonna tell you what product, right, is looking at. It's gonna give you the Amazon name of the product, the Amazon URL, and then the supplier URL. So what I usually do is I open both tabs, right? And then from there, I go to Amazon and I look at my numbers to see if it makes sense. Okay. So we got here a Lola V Perfect Leave-In 5 ounces, right? This is a pretty decent product. Um, it's going for $11.96, right? So one of the products, right? People were asking in the chat, what are criteria when you're doing I'm guessing online arbitrage, and what tools do you use? So the first tool that we use, team, is Seller. It's called Seller's Amp. And for those who are new, let me see if I remember this. Would you want to scroll down all the way to the bottom? I can't see it because of this thing right here. Let me make my screen a little smaller. Sorry, team. Because I can't see the bottom part. Here we go. So you want to click on this gear, right? And it's going to get you to this page over here. And you want to set up your prep fee to $265. And the reason why you want to set this up to $265 is to call the shipping fees to Amazon and the prep center fees. Right, Lewis? Did I get that right?
Mhm.
Perfect. See, I'm paying attention, guys. I'm paying attention. And then from there, you want to just scroll all the way down and just hit on save. Okay. Once you hit on save, team, you're gonna refresh your page, and it's just gonna automatically now include that prep center cost, that prep fee to your max cost. Okay. So first things first, we're gonna go ahead and check the product. It's what I look at. The first thing I look at is how much can this thing cost me? Right? That's the first thing I look at. And the reason why I look at that is because when I go over here, I want to make sure that this makes sense. Okay. That's the first thing. And I'm just being honest with you guys. That's the first thing I look at. Then from there, I scroll down to see how many sellers are selling this product. There's 41 sellers that are actually selling this product, right? And then the reason I can tell is by looking at this right here, it says 41. So there's 41 other people selling this product. Then I look at the sales per month, which is 142. Now you're probably asking, what is this little exclamation point here? That what that means, team, is that there's a variation. And also this V alert here, it's an indication that there's a variation with this product. So how do you determine how much does this product sell a month, right? So you scroll down again. Sorry, I know there's a lot of going up and down. You click on check here where it says the variation, and it's going to give you a breakdown as to which product is selling the most. So luckily for this one, it's 100% this size here, which is 5 fluid ounces. You guys see that there? It says 5 fluid ounces. So yeah. So 100% of the sales are going to this product. Another thing that I learned last week is that if you scroll down to your Keepa chart and you click on data, this is another tool that we use. It's called Keepa. You're able to determine how many people have bought this product in the last month. This one says 100 plus. This one says 142. So they kind of correlate. So I'm like, all right, cool. The numbers make sense. Okay. Excuse me. So now, for purpose of this call, 1450 is what this product is called. Now, I want to make sure that this is the exact same product that we have over here, right? So I'm looking at this. It's leave-in, right? Perfecting leave-in, 5 fluid ounces, right? And it's called Lola V. So let's look over here, Lola V, perfecting leave-in, 5 fluid ounces. That looks the same, right? Right?
Yeah, the same.
Okay. Perfect. So 1450. So now what you're going to do, team, is you're going to put the cost price in here, 1450. And the way I have my seller amp set up is that which you can adjust, is that the ROI has to exceed 20% and the profit has to exceed $5. That's just the numbers that I look for when I'm doing sourcing. It doesn't have to be the same for you. You can adjust that number, and I'm going to show you how to adjust it real quickly if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
All right, cool. So you go back to settings, and right here, minimum ROI, you could put 20, 15, whatever, and then minimum profit, you put $5, $2, $3, whatever you want. And then it's going to automatically adjust your seller's amp to change the numbers. Okay. So I just do that again because when I look at products, that's what I look for. Sorry for the background noise.
Then if the criteria doesn't match yours, you skip it, right?
Yep.
Or do you consider it like a little bit, or like
it depends, right? So it just has to make sense, right? So for example, this product right here, 142 sales per month, 41 sellers. That's a lot of sellers for 142 sales per month, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Right? And we got people in here that have 110, right? So it's just a lot of competition for this product right here. So me personally, I'll probably skip this even if I have a repricer that's going to bring this down to 5%, right? Because my repricer is going to bring that down. And that's another product, Vladimir, or another tool that we use, that, again, ultimately what it does is that it brings you to the buy box. But yeah, the profit doesn't make sense for me and the ROI doesn't make sense to me. So I ultimately would skip this product because, one, there's a lot of sellers. The ROI doesn't meet my 20%, and the profit is real low. What are you guys' thoughts?
like how do we do it?
Yeah,
I mean,
like would you buy this product?
me personally, no. The Yeah, Rick says pass. Brandy's a no.
Perfect.
Yeah, Dion's a pass.
All right, so I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So now, team, one thing that on last week's call that I want to kind of reiterate on this call as well is just always putting notes when you're sourcing, right? Because again, there's gonna come in time where life happens and you're gonna walk away from your computer. Let's say a work call comes in, the baby needs attention, and you come back and you're looking at the products like, oh wait, what happened, right? So what I usually do is I always put some notes here right after I'm done sourcing that product, right? So if I ever have to go back to it, I already know like, okay, I sourced that one. I don't have to look at it again. Okay. All right, cool. So next product. So that one was a pass. The same thing. We click on both. So first thing, max cost, right? 35.31. That's the first thing I look at. 47 sales per month. Okay, that's decent. Now let's scroll down and let's look at the sellers, right? We got 4 sellers. That's decent as well, right? Compared to 41 with what we were looking at the last product, 4 sellers, that's a decent competition right there. Now let's scroll down. Let's look at the keeper chart. Let's look at the data. And then this one says 50, right? So they correlate, right? It's a little bit off, right? 50 here, 47, pretty much the same. So that looks good to me. Now let's go over here and let's go to the product. So it says out of stock here. So when I see that team, usually what I do is, oh, and Rakuten too. If you don't have Rakuten or if you don't have something that's going to give you cash back, please make sure that you get one of these extensions. It's a good way to actually receive money when you are sourcing or getting products. So the cool thing about this website is that it gives you the ability to notify you when available. So I just usually put that, I toggle that on to send me a notification if this is one of the products that I want to purchase. Okay. So it looks like this one was listing for 1067. Now, this is a pack of 3. And this is selling for 1 at 1067. So if we do the math, 1067 times 3, 3201. All right, 3201. Okay, cool. So you're making $10 profit and you're making 32% ROI. This is a good product for me. One last thing I like to look at, right, is the brand, right? Glyoxide, like I was telling you guys before, make sure that the brand matches with what you're selling, because once you pull that trigger and you do that purchase and you realize like, oh shoot, the brand's not the same, now you got to reach out to the supplier, see if you could cancel and do all that extra stuff. So just save yourself a step and just make sure that these two kind of match. So since they match, I would say this is a good product, and I'll probably do a test buy of probably like 5 to 10 products. What do you guys think? And if I'm going too fast, guys, please let me know. All right, so Ricky's a yes. Lewis is a yes. Look at that. We got Lewis participating in the chat. It's crazy. All right, cool. So test buy, right?
I like your
So
criteria, by the way, bro.
what
Like,
happened?
they're strict with you, right? Like 20% minimum,
Mm-hmm.
$5 profit minimum, right? Is your
Yeah.
baseline like that?
Yeah, and the reason why, Lewis, I did it that way is because when you're looking at ROI, right? Some of these products may give you an ROI of like 80%, but the profit that you're making on that product will probably be like $2 to $3. So if somebody drops that price by like $1 or 2, your ROI just like plummets. You know what I mean? So it just has to make sense, you know?
Yeah.
So, so yeah. So Dion had a question, right? So what does the eligibility box mean? This eligible box mean? Ultimately what this means is that if I'm gated on the product, and I used to have this question all the time as a beginner. I'm like, yo, if it says no there, do I even look at the product? For training purposes and so for you guys to understand how the sourcing or the research goes, that's why I looked at this product. But if I see a no here, ultimately what you have to do is you just click on this manual ungate button, and it's going to bring up another page to see if you can actually sell the product, right? So once you do that, you just hit request approval, and then this page is going to come up here. Now, this page right here, when I see this page, it ultimately tells me that I can sell this product. All I got to do is just answer these questions. So to give you kind of like the answers to the question is the first one, the last one, the last one, the last one, the first one, and then you put your email and phone number and then submit, and then boom, you can sell the product. So you hit refresh. Sometimes it lags out. So then you refresh the whole page. And then the eligible will now turn to yes sometimes. I don't know why it didn't turn, but whatever. There you go. Now you can sell the product. Amazon was just being slow. So yeah, it just turns to yes. So that's how that works. Okay. And sometimes they're gonna ask you for receipts and stuff like that. Once I see the invoice pop up, I skip it, honestly, because I'm not gonna do a test buy on a product that I cannot sell and get an invoice just to test it out. Unless it's like a real big product like Stanley or groceries, right? Try to get ungated on groceries. What other product? Nike, Adidas, and stuff like that. Those are the ones that I'll probably test by, and then just to get ungated. Okay. To provide Amazon obviously with the invoices and stuff. So all right, cool. So we're gonna test by this. So when I do my documentation on this team, the way I do it is a little bit different than what Lewis does. I kind of use it as like a reminder. And I I don't know, I'm just weird with it. So I put the actual like ROI number. So I'll put like like 32.4% ROI. How many sales a month this product has and how many sellers at the time, right? And then I'll be like test buy. The reason why I put that there is because I'm going through so many products that if I have to go back to that one after whatever point in time, I want to see where it was at and what changed. If I
Really
have to
good, bro.
restock,
That's really good.
if I have to restock, right? So if I look at it, let's say a month from now, and my ROI is now different from 32.4, it's like 10, and the sales per month are now 10, and there's 50 sellers. I'm like, okay, this one got smacked. I can't restock on this product. So that's how I do it.
A good one.
Yeah. Do we test buy every product? Great question. I would say if it makes sense for you, right? If the numbers make sense for you and you're seeing the sales, right? Uh, right? Like the sales per month makes sense for you, the keeper chart makes sense for you, right? ROI numbers make sense, profit makes sense, then a test buy, right? Do like 5 to 10 products and do it. That's just how I learned. Lewis always told me, yo, just it's a numbers game, rack up and scale up. Scale up after that.
Yeah. I say, well, me, like I always do a test buy just because I don't wanna, like make lose money on mistakes, right? So yes, I think we all do test buys in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at that point, right? Like if you see that that's a hot selling item, you just restock on it. And that's why it's important to keep track of like the products that you buy, right? Obviously it's a business, right? You want to make sure you have everything documented. Um, and I think that for me, that played a big role of seeing like, okay, like this item right here is really selling. Let me just go back to it and buy, instead of 5, buy 15. And when I scale up, team, I don't scale up like from 5 to 50. I do it incrementally. And the reason why I do it that way is because I don't want that product to have a hot month and then I be stuck the next month with 50 products.
Yeah, I
So,
love that.
all right,
Always
cool.
play it safe, right? Yeah, I agree.
Always play it safe. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's your money, right? and and you don't want to lose out on that money. You're investing, right? So you want to make sure that when you're investing that you're doing it correctly and that you're doing it responsibly, and you're not investing, too much in a product that's you saw like, oh shoot, this product really sold, is really selling, and next thing you know is because it's Q4 and a lot of people are buying dolls, and then Q1 hits and you're like, oh wait, why is this product not selling? Well, because nobody's buying dolls anymore.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So remember, max calls, 498, 88 sales per month. And then we're going to go ahead and scroll down and see how many sellers we have on here. So we have 17 sellers for 88 sales per month. Okay. So if I do the math on that real quick, hold on, sorry. I get real technical with it too sometimes. All right, cool. So let's see how much this product is going for. This product is going for $8.99. Right? $8.99. And that puts me at a real low ROI. For me, for my criteria, that puts me at a low ROI. And it puts me at a low profit. Right? And again, the reason why I say I keep that profit at 5 because it gives me that wiggle room. If somebody was to drop this product down to $18.95, now I'm making 15 cents off this product. So it doesn't make sense for me. Hopefully you guys are grasping that.
Yeah, makes sense.
So just for numbers sake and for training purposes, right? So we got the ROI, it's at 11.12, profits at $1. We have 88 sales per month, and we have 17 sellers. Okay. And let's look at the keeper chart. Keeper chart looks pretty solid. Let's look at the data. And over here, it's saying 100. So it kind of correlates with the other number as well, right? 88, 100. So 100 sales. Let's put it at 90 right in between, or 95 for 17 sellers. How do you guys feel about this product? Would you guys purchase this product? I don't want to give you guys the answer. I feel like I've always been giving you the answer. Like, I know what I would do. What would you guys do?
What'd you guys do?
So Dion's a pass.
Let's see in the chat.
Mary's a pass. Brandy's a huge no. All right, perfect. So a lot of passes here. And yes, I agree with you all. I would definitely pass this up. This is why I like Sellers Amp. Really, like if I see a lot of red up there, I'm moving on to the next one. That's just how I operate. So we're gonna pass this one. And let's go to the next product. Guys, is this making sense? I'm sorry. I just like I know there's some Lewis, we got some new people on this, right? Like just people like it's not just the A team that's on here, right?
Yeah, there's some guests too.
All right, cool. So for the guests, like, is this making sense? Like, am I just like talking crazy over here? Like, I want to make sure like it makes sense. Hopefully it does.
Yeah, it's making sense, bro. It's good.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it's making good.
I know for you, Lewis, but I mean that's what I'm saying, Lewis. Like for you, I know it makes sense because you've been doing this for mad long. But for somebody that's brand new, it's like whoa, like this is probably like a lot of information. But all right, cool. So I'm getting some yeses here. All right, cool. Perfect. All right. So we got this product here. I don't know why it just went to that. But yeah, we got this nature made fish oil supplement, right? 100 milligrams, all that jazz, right? So 1,000 milligrams. So let's look at what we got over here, right? So first thing, max cost is $8.57, right? Now, if you notice here on the alerts team, right, one of them says variation, the other one says M, right? M means meltable. And ultimately with a meltable item, what that means is that there's a window that you have to like sell it with FBA. You could do this FBM, which is a different type of thing that Amazon has to offer. But FBA, I know there's like a window that you have to like get it over to them, right, Lewis?
Yeah.
Like they can't sell like in the summertime or
I
something
think
like
April to October. Hold on.
Yeah, like so whenever
Really
it's hot, they can't sell this product. Um, so yeah. So just keep that into consideration when looking at this product, whenever you see an M there. So now let's scroll down. We know this is a variation, so we see this here, right? Now, at first glance, I'm like, shoot, this product sells 3,847 sales per month. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scroll down and I'm gonna check to see if that actually is this particular product here. So it's actually 89% of the product that we're looking at. So that's actually a real good number and really good sales per month. So what's 89% of that 3,004? That's like 3,423 sales per month. So that's a very good number, right? So now let's see how many sellers per month we have. So we have 51 sellers. I think that's more than 3,000 for 51. That's still good, in my opinion, based off of that ratio right there. So now let's look at the actual product. So this one is actually selling for $35.99 on Walgreens, which is our supplier. And again, get a Rakuten team or get anything that gets you cash back. So $35.99. Is there any like savings or anything like that? So get extra 15% off. So we could get 15% off. And this also has buy one, get one free. So that's pretty cool too. So if we do the math, that's $35.99 divided by 2. So technically this product is $17.99 if you do 2, right? Because you're getting one for free. So $17.99 for this product. And then we have 15% off if you use this code here. Is everybody following me with how I got those numbers? Okay, cool. So $17.99. And then, right, I know you're gonna see like, oh shoot, Mitch is negative. Wait, hold up, right? So the cool thing about Sellers AMP team is that when you scroll down, there's this discounts button here. So you don't have to go crazy on your calculator figuring out how much is $17.99. So you click on the 15%, right? So it's gonna give us that. And it will automatically calculate that. However, for this product, unfortunately, the ROI is negative. Okay. I just wanted to teach you guys how to use Sellers AMP a little bit and how to, add that discount feature there. Okay. So we're going to actually skip this product since it's negative. Does everyone agree on that? I would hope so. All right, cool. Louis, I guess this would be the last one, right? I don't know. Am I good on time?
Yeah, good, bro.
All right, cool. This is
Yeah,
pretty cool.
last one, and then we can do Q&A.
All right.
Yeah, there's some questions in the chat, so.
All right, cool. So we got this Barbie doll here. And obviously I'm gated, so yeah. So the max cost team on this is 637. And sales per month is 129. The variation is applied to this product. And lastly, we got this IP thing here. Oh, cool. Sammy said that Nature Made would be restricted at the end of the month. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. All right, so IP, right? So for those who are probably wondering what this alert is, it's just Sellers AMP kind of like notifying you that there may be some IP alerts with this product. However, I have the same extension that Lewis has, that if any IP alerts pop up, it will notify me like, hey, this is an IP error. Like this product has IP alert. So let's scroll down, which is another tool that we use. Let's go down. Let's look at the variation to see which one sells. So now a little bit different from the other ones. This one is 22%. So we do the math based off of the 129 times 22%. That's 28.38 sales per month. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our Keepa chart. Click on data. And then this one actually says 200. So, that's way off. That's way off for me.
Such a good, this is a
Yeah,
good strategy, by the way, shared by Brandy. Thanks, Brandy.
yeah, it was
Really
great, yo.
helpful.
Because I be looking at these numbers, I'm like, oh, 28 sales per month. All right, cool. But then now I go over here, I'm like, wait, hold up. There's something as well that we have to look into. So let's scroll down, right, and see how many sellers we have. So we have 21 sellers. And then I saw something on Keepa that kind of threw me off. So if you see here, team, when you see these orange boxes, ultimately what that means is that Amazon was on the listing. Okay. And if you notice, if you scroll down as well here, like a little bit further, you'll see who is actually getting the buy box. So on this product, Amazon seems to be the most dominating one. And if you notice, they have 67% of the sales. And everybody else in the bottom, like, barely got any sales. So that's like another, and like that's like me going into like the deep end of analyzing. So when I see this where it says 67% of the sales go to Amazon and the rest of the sellers have less than 1%, I pass on that. The reason why I pass is because how am I any different from these three other sellers and the rest of the sellers here? So
Yeah, too risky,
there's
right?
Huh?
Too risky, right?
It's very risky. That's like a huge red flag for me. But again, for number's sake, right? Let's just do that. 993. And let's see what happens here with the numbers. 993. Oh shoot. There we go. And again, numbers don't make sense for me as well. 14%, 1.45. Amazon are on there. Yeah, I'll pass on this one. Right? Do you guys agree? Or was I just like jumping the gun there?
No, it makes sense.
All
Let's
right,
see the
cool.
chat. Does it make sense, guys?
I love how Louis like, yeah, it makes sense. Louis, we got it. All right, perfect. Perfect. So I'm gonna stop sharing now, Louis. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah, it's fine.
All right, cool.
Yeah, there's more questions in the chat. So let's see.
Yeah, we could fire them away.
I think Sam asked, when did you transition to a VA?
Great question. So I started off, so back in the day, right? I feel like I'm old when I say back in the day, but back in October when we started, not only did we have the A teams list, we also had like OA beans and OA deals and stuff like that, which I don't really recommend because you're sharing a list with like 30 other people. But we were excited and we wanted to know like, yo, like we wanted to get products so we could rack up our store. And once we I think it was in December, probably like 2 months in, probably even less than that. Oh, it was November. Sorry, November. Lewis had this amazing sale with VAs. And that's when we decided, like, hey, if he's doing a
Cyber
sale,
Monday, right? Yeah, I remember that.
it was Cyber Monday. He was like, yo, I got this Cyber Monday sale where you could get like half off on a VA or something. I don't know. It was a crazy, it was an amazing sale. And we took the initiative, and that was just like more for us to like, really get our feet in the water. And we haven't looked back since because the VAs have been providing amazing products to us. And they've been very communicative with us with our requests and stuff like that. And I think that's like the best thing for me, especially with Lewis. How do I find good Lewis? Lewis, I got this situation. I need a VA.
Yeah, I provide the VAs to the team. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's just better, right? Than looking at other places. Because everyone's internal. So, but other places though, you can go to onlinejobs.ph. There's Fiverr, Upwork. Anywhere else?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and really just Googling, right?
Yeah. The thing with that though, I feel like it's like going to Facebook Marketplace and like buying something from a complete stranger, right? Instead of going to like an actual store where I know the person and I'm getting something, like, or like I'm getting a referral from somebody. Like I feel like a referral from somebody is much better than actually just going to a random place and just kind of like buying something and getting it off the strength of somebody. Like, oh. So, and the reason why I say that is because Lewis trains these VAs. He teaches them what to do and how to source and do all that. And yeah, I just feel significantly comfortable with them.
Yeah.
Right.
Any other questions, you guys? No more questions?
I guess not. Man, this was fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Questions?
No, I don't think they got questions, Lewis.
There you go. So what are the tools that you recommend?
The tools that I recommend are the tools that we were going over on the call. So Seller's Amp is a need, right? Like you need that. It just God bless you, Lewis. It's it's one of the products that's gonna really assist you with sourcing and getting the numbers very close to accurate. Keepa as well, right? As you saw, it's like another layer um of sourcing. IP alert is a real good one, right? It tells you which products are going to Rosanna's over here like shouting out all the products. It's gonna keep a IP alert. And then one of the ones that we've been using is the repricer, right? And the reason why we got the repricer, one of the ones that Lewis but not recommended, I just asked Lewis, like, what repricer are you using? I want that one. And it's the Go Aura repricer. And ultimately what it does is that it takes out the guessing for you, or like um the like you having to go and update the prices of your products and stuff like that. So that's why we got that, because again, I don't want to be standing in front of my computer and all that stuff. And then lastly, some people say get seller board. I tried it, but it was too much for me. Like it was just so much plugging in numbers and all that stuff. I was just like, yeah. I mean, you can get seller board. It's a real great way to like get all your numbers accurately and stuff. But yeah, for accounting. There you go. So yeah, seller board is for accounting. So someone asked, the 265 fee that you mentioned earlier, is that just for US or for Canada? So would it still be the same fee? That's a great question. I don't know, Louis. I think it's actually 265 because the products are shipping out of America. It's not like, because we're shipping it to the prep center in Oregon. So
Right.
then, and they're the one that handle all of that. So
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be different for everyone because we use a prep center, right? So we're paying about $1.65 for our prep center per piece. And then we have a rough estimate of $1 or less for Amazon shipping fees. So if you're prepping yourself, that's gonna be different too. So you need to calculate the cost of your prep per piece, if that makes sense. Or if you're using another prep center, you need to calculate the cost of your prep center. Make
yeah.
sense?
Yeah, and I think when you're looking into prep centers, they give you those numbers, if I'm not mistaken. Because I remember when we started with the prep in Oregon, they were telling us like, hey, there was like a spreadsheet or something like that. Like not a spreadsheet, but like a document that told us like, hey, this is the cost for this is the cost for that. And then you could kind of gauge and get that number as to like, that 165. Um, the another question that someone had here is, how many VAs do you have? Um, I currently have one full-time VA, and just for sourcing. Now, Lewis also has VAs for accounting, for handling questions and all that stuff. So yeah, there's different ones, but the VA that we currently have is just for sourcing and is a full-time VA. And the question was prep center in Oregon for tax purposes, right? Yes, so it's a tax-free state. So that's why we got the prep center from Oregon. And once we ship to those states, it's yeah, most of there's like no tax and shipping. Like, well, yeah, shipping, yeah, but like no tax cost.
Any other questions here? Let me see. Any more questions, you guys? Everyone's good? So no need for tax exempt filing. No. No, if you're using um a a sales tax free state, then no. Yeah. That's why we recommend it, because you're saving another like 10%, right, on sales tax, which is pretty big. So any other questions for Mitch or maybe for me?
Sorry about the background noise, guys.
Before we go. Oh no, you're good, man.
As you can tell, I got kids.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess there's no more questions, Lewis. First and foremost, man. Oh, somebody said they got burned by a guru. Sheesh. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I know. That's why, yeah. E-com is crazy, right? As far as scams and all this crazy marketing. So that's why we really help people, right? With this group, because e-com is filled with scammers, honestly. E-com is great, but these scammers are hurting a lot of people. And I think they're hurting the industry too, in general. So
Yeah. So Rick got a question. He said, "How many VAs do you need to scale?" So so this is how we did it. We started off with a part-time VA, and ultimately what that is that it's one person giving you 5 products per day, and then from there we went full-time. And so the reason why we went full-time is because obviously Cyber Monday sale was there, and I was like, "Yo, let's take that initiative." But yeah, and that's all we have. And we're able to, we've been able to make close to 30,000 in sales in the past, 4 months, 4 or 5 months. And and yeah, that's my testimony. But if you really want um to to scale even higher than what I'm doing, you can definitely get more VAs. Give me 1 second.
yeah, as far as the VAs, it's gonna be personal. So I mean, the way it usually works is in the beginning you learn it on your own first, right? And then people usually get a part-time VA, like for working like 20 hours a week, and then they usually upgrade to a full-time VA, right? And then there's
Yeah.
also an option to hire VA to do orders for you.
Yeah.
So it's really just up to your goals, up to your budget. But VAs can do product research all the way to managing your whole store. So, it just depends on how much control you want, how much leverage you want, right? And then how much budget you have too, as far as products and staffing. So you agree,
Yeah.
Mitch?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 100%. So the next question is, how many products are you shipping? So that's a great question. And honestly, like I said before, um, we I try to do at least 1 to 2 products a day, and just based off of what I source, right? Like my goal is to get at least 1 to 2 products a day sent to the prep center. That's it. If I get more than that, then great. If I don't, if I get lower than that, then I'm like, ah, shoot. Well, tomorrow's probably a better day. Um, but yeah. So the question for Brandy was, what is your monthly revenue and spend now? And what was it when you started? So when we started, our spend was 5,000 a month. Right. So we were spending 5K a month, right? Our first month, we was like, yo, let's just give it a try. And then now we boosted it up to 10K a month. And our revenue right now, based off of the numbers, we haven't hit the 10K mark, like, because of how picky I am when it comes to sourcing. So we haven't hit that 10K mark a month. So I think we're like floating around like 6 to 7K in monthly spends. But yeah, and then revenue, I wrote Ronald is the one that handles that, so he would probably know. When it
Is he
comes
here
to
today? Or is not here today?
I don't think he's on.
Yeah, Ronald's the numbers guy, right?
Yeah, he's a numbers guy, so I just do the orders.
Let me see.
Wish I had that answer for you, Brandon.
Let me see.
And
Sam.
then someone said got a notification on this one from the A teams list from Amazon. Any guidance or
If it's a pesticide product. It looks like you're gated, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hold on. For this product, it seems like it's either you're gated or Amazon wants you to answer questionnaires about pesticides.
Ooh, so I actually did that, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it was a pain.
So what to
And
go through the answering the
the,
questionnaires?
the the pesticide stuff, and
Mm,
but it's worth it though. It's like a I want to say you probably got to dedicate like 45 minutes to answering, like watching videos, answering questions, and doing all that. But once you do it, you get ungated on many products that not a lot of people sell because people don't want to go through that training. It's literally just a training. So I
mm,
just pulled up the ASIN that you provided. Who was that, Sam? And
yeah.
as you can see, there's 5 sellers, right? Um, I'm not sharing my screen, but yeah, there's 5 sellers. And yeah, that's probably the reason why. Because so yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be up to you, Sam. I mean, you can go through the process of like like watching videos and answering questions, but it's not just skip it.
Mm.
Yeah. Cameras are it's because each shade is different. I mean, see, yeah, we can't sell anything. Yeah. The way I look at it, if you don't want to sell a certain category, or a certain product, just skip it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's too much of a headache, then just skip it. You guys agree?
I agree, yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to get access to those products.
Yeah. Any other questions, you guys? Are we good? Let's see. To hit 10K profit monthly, how much is that in revenue? Profit. Let me see. Maybe like 30, 40, 50K, right? Revenue. Let's
I
see.
think so.
Because it depends on, yeah. Let me calculate that real quick. So 20,000.
For sticking to group categories. Yeah, so like like probably like 40K.
Yeah. Yeah, 40K in revenue. Yeah. Sounds right. And then Dio is asking, are you sourcing all the products or sticking to group categories?
So whatever my VA sends me, that's what I'm sourcing. Really. And once I've like for example, oh look, the numbers man is here. So once I got to found out about Stanley, that's when we got ungated on that. We for like a week, we got some Stanley products as well. So and then we got ungated for groceries, and then we told them to give us products on those as well. So it depends, right? So right now, whatever they send me, that's what I'm sourcing. But
Yeah.
sometimes I'll tell them, hey, send me these, like do these products.
Yeah. I think in the beginning, you're kind of just general, right?
Yeah,
And then
at
as
the
you go, you
beginning,
kind
it
of
was
find
it
a
was like
style.
a free for all. It was like a free for all. Whatever looked good, I was buying.
Yeah. And then I think as you go on, you kind of find a style and make it as easy as possible for you to like scale it. So I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When your VA came on, plug and play.
You're cutting in and out.
Okay. I was saying when your VA came on, were they plug and play, or did it take some time to ramp them up to providing, uh, products that met your criteria? And if it did, about how long did that take?
Great question. So, just so everybody understands, this question is, then just so I understand, you're saying is like, how long did it take for the VA to actually start sending me products that met my criteria? Is that the question? Did he disappear?
I think he
Sorry,
was
we're
asking if
talking.
it's plug and play. If it's like plug and play or yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, yeah, you got the gist of it. That was it. If they didn't come on, already, you know, shooting off the hip with products that you wanted from the get go, then
so,
how long did it take before they were?
so at first, they were just sending me random products at first. And then after a while, I like, if it didn't meet my criteria, I actually had to reach out to them and let them know, like, hey, this is what I want. Right. And the way Lewis, I think Lewis set it up phenomenally, where he put us all in a group chat on Facebook. And I was just reaching out to them saying, hey, look, this is what I want. And then I would tell them, sometimes they'll send me like hazmat products. Sometimes they'll send me like products that are, 3, 7, 9 sales per month. And I'm like, nah, I can't do that. 9 sales per month it's not something that is sustainable and scalable. So yeah, I would tell them, this is the criteria that I have, and then they would sell it. Then they would send me that. And it's more it's like a business relationship with anybody. You gotta let them know what you want and kind of work with them to get to there. Any other questions? Let's see.
Hey Dion, did it make sense, bro? I think he's losing connection.
Yep.
So
That made sense. Thank you.
awesome, man.
All right, perfect.
Any other questions, you guys? Awesome. I think
Hey
we're good.
Lewis. Hey Lewis and
man.
Mitchell. Sorry I came in late. I'll be watching the replay. I hope everything went well.
I know we came towards the end, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, I'll catch up the replay.
Yeah, this guy's um a partner of Mitchell. So it's Mitchell, Ronald, and Rosanna running the store. So
Yeah.
if you guys have any questions on how to do it, you can ask now if you want.
Yeah, just reach out to, yeah, like for like product research and how to source, I would say reach out to me. That's I'm on the A teams list, so just shoot me a message and I'll answer any questions to the best of my knowledge, right? If not, I'll be like, yo, let's set up Lewis.
Yeah. All right, bro. So I guess before we end, any advice for people who are just starting, and also for people who are thinking of working with other people? Like, what's your advice for them?
So I would say for people who are just starting is get your feet wet, just do it. Don't hesitate, and always ask questions, right? I think one of the things that we did in the beginning was um ask as many questions as possible to Lewis. We were like, I remember at one point we were like just constantly going back and forth on it on Facebook. And the reason why is because we wanted to make sure that we were doing the right thing, right? So do not hesitate to ask questions, because it's very important that you understand that you're doing the right thing and that you feel confident as to what you're doing when it comes to purchasing these products and building your Amazon store. As per for someone who wants to do it in a group, just have open communication with your group. Rosanna, Ronald, and myself, we have a group chat and we're constantly going back and forth as to like what products to purchase. Ronald is constantly reminding us, I was like, yo, I see that this product is selling a lot. Should we restock? You know what I mean? So the more eyes that you have on your store, I think the better. So just always have that open line of communication and just work together as a team. So I think that's the main thing when it comes to working as a group. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
How about you, Ron? Any, advice for new people and for people who are thinking of, like working with a group? Like, how is that possible, and any advice for them?
I mean, I'll disagree with what Mitchell said about the open communication, right? And to people that don't have a group option, I guess, then I'm sure it's doable without a group. It's just the
Need.
same thing. It's a matter of delegation. The more people in the group, the better as far as splitting things up. But the harder it could be, right? Because like Mitchell said, there's more people to kind of decide on. Okay, is this a good product? Is this not a good product? Any deciding factors. Now you have to kind of discuss it with your other group members or partners. Unless you specifically say, hey, you have the power to do whatever you want as far as deciding what products to choose. As long as it's within a certain criteria, um, and stuff like that, right? And I think that goes with any business, right? You give people powers of, okay, you don't have to come to me for everything. You can decide on this. I'll come to you for something else, etc. So I think once you establish that, then you don't really have to be meeting up or speaking about every small deciding decision making when it comes to any part of the business. But yeah, I mean, so far so good. I mean, it's been good. I in the group chat will, somebody will say, Mitchell usually takes care of ordering the products. Rosanna usually will take care of, the emails and staying on top of the emails or any sort of alerts in the account. I take, Mitchell said earlier, the numbers guy. I try to take care of the numbers, try to help out with any of the funding, how are we going to fund the products or stuff like that. Um, and that's pretty much it. I mean, if anybody has any questions, please ask away
Yeah.
or,
So
reach out
I
to
guess, like,
us
how
later.
how how big do you want this to be, Ron?
I mean, initially we always said, we want this to be as big as, hey, can this replace our full-time jobs, right? But obviously it comes with risks, and we kind of discussed this in that one call that we had, the emergency call, right? What happens if our store gets shut down, tomorrow, then what's going to happen with our sources of income? You know, Mitchell and Rosanna, they have a family, they have kids, so for me, I mean, I can sleep in my car for all we care. But, when you have kids, you don't have that, flexibility. So, it is important to know that, hey, this is my main source of income. I can continue to have it my main source of income at low risk, right? So yeah, I mean, ideally we want it to be as big as that, but we don't know. We don't know that 100% yet,
Yeah. So, like, for now, just saying, like, one day at a time, right? See,
for sure.
yeah.
And I mean, you kind of go and you learn as you go, and hopefully you continue to grow. Just like you always said, the more money you put into it, the more money you can see back. But you want to make sure you have everything else straightened out, right? Because if you're doing something wrong without knowing it, you may not be knowing it. And then you start scaling or trying to scale. Okay, I was doing $10,000 in buy. Let me do $50,000 in buy. But if there's something broken in your system, whatever it may be, then it doesn't matter how far you try to scale up, you're going to be stuck because you're doing something wrong. And a good example we had back when we started was, I don't know if Mitchell touched on this. I think it was our repricer. There was something wrong going on there, and it was messing up all our numbers, right? So I think we had a call with Lewis. Lewis identified it, and as soon as we fixed that, then we were able to see, different results. But had we not identified that then I'm sure that would have been holding us back, all throughout.
Yeah, I agree. Then Dion's asking in the chat, how are you tracking costs and spend and working with credit? Question mark.
So I'll answer that on my end, and then Mitchell can probably answer that as far as the spreadsheet. As far as cost and spend, we're using for the most part one main credit card for all the purchases. And basically we have a list of all the expenses that have been purchased for Amazon products, and we also have a list of payouts that we've gotten from Amazon, right? And that's kind of like, basically the plus and the minus columns. We have another second backup credit card in case this one credit card that gets declined for whatever fraud alerts or whatever the reason may be. We have one or two backup credit cards. But yeah, but just by keeping it in one card, it's easier to maintain as far as accountability of what's been spent. And then I think Seller Central, or I'm not sure if
Seller
which is the
board?
one that
It
Seller
was
Board.
board. It was board. Yeah, seller board.
Seller Board also gives you that history as well.
Love
Yeah,
it.
there's a lot of plugging numbers into seller board. But yeah, just to add on to that, the spreadsheet, right? The one I touched on earlier that Art provided to the team, that we kind of tweaked it where it made sense for us, and that's where we've been tracking all of our costs, what is our expected payout and all that stuff, and yeah, that's kind of like how we just been tracking it. How long does it take to get a payout from Amazon? Roughly 2 weeks. Sometimes they hold out a little longer. It depends. But yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How soon should we get a VA? How soon should we use an Oregon Prep Center? So the VA is up to you, right? Like what's your, I would say start with the A-team list if you're starting. Start with the A-team list. That way you can get your feet in the water and you know you're getting in the rhythm. And then once you get comfortable, then get a VA. And then as soon as the prep center, as soon as you start, that's what we did. As soon as we started, we got access to the prep center because we didn't want to start prepping products and sending it to Amazon ourselves. We wanted something where all I had to do was just buy it, and then it's like, forget it. They do it, you know. so yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in for Edward's question regarding the prep center, right? And it all depends on what kind of business you want to set up, right? As Mitchell said, we didn't want to have our hands tied where we'd have to be home, we'd have to be physically present to, prep and then send away. Obviously, that comes with, perks. And I know a couple people in the chat or in the call right now or in the team prefer it that way. I know Brandy Art, they do a lot of their own prepping, and like I said, that gives you speed, right? Because you can send it out way faster than the prep center does. You could do your own quality control, but obviously that comes at a cost, which is time. So that's something that we decided to give up, even though sometimes we were like, why is the prep center taking so long? But we kind of just eat that up for the fact that we don't have to touch the items and spend the extra time. But yeah, it depends. Like going back to what I was saying, it depends on what kind of business you want to build and how much time you have or how much time you want to put into the business as well. And then scaling, right? If you want to scale, there's only one of you. If you want to continue to prep on your own, you're gonna have to hire people locally to help you prep and then send it out. Because you'll be limited as far as scaling at one point once you get to a certain level.
Chance asking, do you always source domestic US based products?
Sometimes we do get products that are like UK based or like from different countries and stuff. And all we have to factor in when you get those products is the shipping cost. And then if the numbers make sense, then we would purchase it. But if it doesn't, then we won't.
Have you ever been concerned? Sorry, just a follow up to my question. Have you ever been concerned about like customs and that sort of thing? Like any
It's funny that
unpredictable things?
yeah, it's funny that you say that. So we did order a product. I think it was from UK, and it was like a hair product or something like that. It was like shampoo,
Mm-hmm.
and for like hair loss or hair gain or something like that. And that product ended up getting stuck in customs for like probably like a good uh probably like 3 weeks. And I'm like, yo, where is this product? Why hasn't it reached the prep center? And once I looked and tracked it, we actually ultimately reached out to the supplier, and then they actually refunded our money, and we weren't able to sell that product. But yeah, there is with outside sources that are not within the US that it may get stuck in customs. Just stay on top of it. Just make sure that you keep track of it and that you are aware of the products that you're purchasing.
Okay, so but I think ultimately you would still maybe say it's a bit of a gamble with out
I would say
international products then,
it's
right?
more of a gamble than a US product. Yeah. It's a little bit more, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Good question.
But I mean, I just wanted to touch on that. That's why we also do a test buy, right? Because especially if you know if it's coming from outside the US, you want to do as small of a test buy as possible. So even if something, were to go wrong, you never receive it, then you don't have a lot of skin in the game as far as money invested in that. If it works out, everything was smooth, and you can expect it to be smooth again in the future times. I would hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, cool, cool.
Alright, so my computer is about to die. Um,
There's a
last
question
question,
there.
I guess.
Yeah,
How long
go
does
ahead.
it take to ship out from Prep Center, and what size do ship from Prep? So the Prep Center, to my knowledge, the way it works is that they make this big box and they just add stuff in there and then they ship it out. And they usually ship out once a week, depending on the frequency of your products getting, getting to the Prep Center. Am I right?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
right.
Cool.
And then what size do you ship? You mean the size of the box? I don't know exactly the size. I forgot the exact size. What is the box from, the Home Depot, right? It's a regular size box. This big or
Yeah. It's a pretty big box. Yeah, they fill that thing up and
packing
they
box. Yeah.
And just to add on to that, from what we heard from the Prep Center before, is that they try to maximize. I think it's like 50 pounds per box or something. They try to maximize that because 50 pounds will cost them. They'll cost you the same thing, whether they put 50 pounds or 40 pounds. So they try to maximize it. Obviously, if you have enough products at the center for them to ship for you.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, all right. My thing's about to die.
Alrighty, good.
If you guys have any other questions, just reach out to me, I guess. Lewis, thank you for this call. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, can we give Mitchell and Ron, please, and Rosanna like a big clap in the chat? Virtual hug, virtual emoji. Some thank you in the chat before we go. Oh, did it freeze?
You're good now. You
Oh
did
man.
freeze.
I said, can we give Mitchell and Ronald and Rosanna like a virtual clap, a hug, thank you, an emoji in the chat. Awesome. Ready, guys.
Nice. Thank you all. Have a
Yeah,
good night.
thanks, Mitch. Thanks,
Thanks,
Ron.
everyone.
Rosanna,
Thank
you
you,
guys are
Louis.
doing great. You guys are very patient people, action takers, and you guys are doing this the right way. So I'm super honored to have you guys here tonight. Yeah, guys. See you guys next week, okay?
Thank you,
Have a good
Louis.
night.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.